Happy end of the week. Happy Sunday. Welcome to a very brief Sci-Fi Center overnighter. For those of you, I got some questions about why we're still on the simulcast. This show is not going to go away from the simulcast. The only show right now that we plan on moving over to the exclusively to the Sci-Fi Center is the Saturday overnighter. And everything else will be originated from there that we create for that channel. But the overnighters, Star Treks, lives, and stuff like that, some of the Sci-Fi Center presents will all still be here. It's just that one show so that we can get our ground level going and get to the point where we can determine just how well that channel is or isn't doing. So, like I said, how are you doing, Optimus Prime? Chappie, what's going on? How are you doing? Yeah, I just got home. I've been out in the heat all day. It's 111 degrees here. I know some of you guys are doing the suffering through the southeast, southwest Texas. It's just, we've been pretty decent. It's been pretty decent here, though. We haven't had, the hellacious summers that we used to have. Today was 111, but June was pretty moderate for Vegas standards. So that means instead of having 4 bad months, we only got like 2.5. July and August are generally the hottest months. So once we get through those, we should be okay. And before you know it, it's fall, and I get back my hour that they stole from me. It depends on when you sent it, Chappie. Did you send that recently? I'm not sure. Yeah, not too much to talk about these days. I mean, like I said, I got everything out of my system past last night. But, yeah, it's pretty up. Oh, I forgot. You know what? I'm talking right now, but I got to remind myself that people are still getting the notification that the show is on. So let me hold up. My office is still cooling down too. That's why I don't have on camera. Oh no, I haven't seen that one yet. When did you? I'll check my Instagram when I get off. What did you record, Vince? Oh yes, I did see that. I did see that. Yeah, the one we said we didn't age well. Yeah, I did see that. Yeah, it's he was a problem. He was a problem, and the gifts he gave us are still giving. You going to Six Flag? Is that in Texas or the LA? I know LA we have Magic Mountain. Are you going to the same one? So, let's see. What's been going on? Let's steal a page out of Film Junkie's book and go on Twitter. Let's see. All right. The Flash is getting pulled out of 1,500 theaters, which is probably, no matter what it was doing, was probably going to go out there. I said that at the beginning of the Flash was going to streaming as soon as they could get it there, and it looks like I was right there. So. All right, William, make sure you check your Twitter DM. Sent you today both a video instruction on how to set up to watch Party. Oh, okay. I haven't checked my Twitter DMs all day. I'm not a Twitter guy. I do check it, and I am on it a little bit, but it's like the one I checked last, so I'll take a look at it. Texas, cool. I mean, like I said, once again, I think I told you this before. Congratulations on going into remission. Hopefully, one of these days you'll come up with an announcement and tell me you're just completely cancer free. That would be great. Well, it's just like Bob Chapek. Bob Chapek was head of the theme parks division too. So, well, it's run its course. even when a movie does super great, a lot of the times you got to realize these studios have other movies that they're putting in. Like they're putting in Barbie here pretty soon, and they got other movies that got to go in, and you only have so many screens that a theater will give you to show. That, and once again, I think the strategy with a lot of these movies, most of them, is to give them a theatrical release only to increase their value for the streaming services. So as soon as they can get it in, I truly think you're going to start seeing 30-day windows, if that long. How you doing, Jacob? All right, let's share my screen here. Let's go on Twitter. Let's see. All right. Hey, look, it's me. Woohoo. My Twitter timeline is pretty boring because I don't engage a lot on Twitter. I was watching this video. I have this belt, so every time one of these belts comes up, I always take a look at the video. Let's see. Say something nice about Black Adam. It was fun. It's Liz Wonder. A lot of people have an opinion about Indiana Jones, Dial of Destiny. I have not seen it yet. I did send people to see it. They all had a good time with it. Here we go. Dune. We did the Dune trailer last night. There's a shot from Rebel Moon. The robot on the left is voiced by Sir Anthony Hopkins, 2-time Academy Award winner. That's a big pull right there. Let's see. Player. All right, so that's it for Twitter. Like I said, pretty slow night. I think it's going to hit max by the beginning of August. All right, what are your thoughts on Guardians of the Galaxy? Cost $835 million. The movie released on. It's consistent. I think the first one did, and I think the first two did in the 700s. So it's a consistent trajectory of what the previous two did. Hey man, I am not going to see this movie, but Barbie's an icon. Barbie's an icon, and when you have an icon like that, a multi-generational icon, it's kind of hard not to try to make some money on it. Yeah, I saw about his score saying it was going to be unique. I'm looking forward to it. We've had obviously we've had the John Williams score, and then everybody trying to come up with something right in that neighborhood. So it's going to be interesting to see if he, turns a different corner and does something drastically different. So that'd be kind of cool. So did I. I mean, all that pink. Ugh, it's a lot of pink. But like I said, there's a market out. There's a massive market out there for Barbie. Barbie's going to crush Oppenheimer in the movie theaters. Everybody knows who Barbie is. Even though Oppenheimer is world history, we're not a very educated country sometimes. Most people can't even tell you who the president is half the time. Yeah, Barbie movie is going to make good money. Like I said, daughters, everybody, every person with daughters in the household, mothers in the household is going to be able to take their kids to see this movie. Not my cup of tea, obviously, but doesn't mean there's not a market for it. I used to break my cousin's dolls when they would come over to the house when I was little. Wow. Thought on Harrison Ford being described as a legend. I do not know what a legend does for a living. I know that I consider myself to be a working actor, and I'll settle for that. He's always been humble that way. He is a legend now. I mean, he's played Indiana Jones. He's played Han Solo. He's played Deckard. I mean, he's an icon that is attached to his names to some of the greatest franchises of all time, and he's done it well. And that's not forget his great Academy Award nominated performance in Witness. Yeah, we're not the target market for everything. I have to come to grips with that myself. Like I said, there's a lot of movies, and in the coming of age movies and stuff like that, like Lady Bird or Call Me by Your Name or that kind of nonsense. I have no plans on ever seeing those movies, but I know they're out there for somebody. Numbers, long time no see. William, what's your thoughts on SAG? AMPT have agreed to extend their current film contract just as I saw up there now. It's better news than we were getting. Because it looked like SAG was going on strike. I still think they're going to, but at least by the time they go on strike, maybe they'll be a lot closer to where they need to be than they are now. Toby Emmerich, on the other hand, I think would have done fine since he ran New Line Cinema for a while. He didn't have such a big ego and was a jerk. Like I said, a lot of these guys were just generic guys. From what I hear, Toby Emmerich wasn't just a jerk to Snyder. He was a jerk to a lot of people. But he was just one of those corporate execs that just, I just didn't really have much regard for one way or another. I mean, a lot of people who like Snyder stuff will always view Hamada and Sarnoff and Emmerich as the enemy, but I don't view them as an enemy. I just don't think they're very good at their jobs. Most of these guys in their surrounding circle were in place when Warner Brothers, Studios, the whole thing went from a $74 billion company to a $42 billion, $43 billion company that Discovery, of all places, could purchase. Now, I never even saw the first one. Yeah, Fugitive, speaking of Academy Awards, that one Tommy Lee Jones won. I don't know if that was the most deserving Academy Award, but he was good in it. But was he Academy Award level good? I never really came to that conclusion. But yeah, you look at Harrison Ford. He's either been part of major franchises or he's been like in standalone movies that were epic. The Fugitive was one of them. Regarding Henry, I mean, these are, Blade Runner. Obviously, he's in a part of that franchise. So yeah, I think I would consider him a legend. Uh, William thought on Spider-Verse producer Chris Miller says the whole goal of his trilogy was to let everybody feel like it could be me being Spider-Man if possible. That's the exact same goal Stan Lee had. That's why Spider-Man's covered from head to toe. Even though he's Peter Parker, he spends the overwhelming majority of his time as Spider-Man, and anybody could be Spider-Man. And that's what, to hear him say that, it echoes back to what, the co-creator of Spider-Man, Stan Lee, wanted for the character as well, and it's really close. Let's see. How you doing, Daniel? What's good? Do you think the movie studios will try to space movies further apart going forward, or do you think it's more of an economic issue with movies not making as much? I think it's both. I do think the proximity of these movies and them not having enough space between each other is one of the problems. I don't know if it's the entirety, but it's one of the problems because with streaming as a backdrop, you by the time you get enough money to go ahead and see that second movie that came out on the second day or the same day or the following week, your paydays, a week later, another 2 weeks, it's on streaming. So when these movies are being released in close proximity, you have to make a decision on what do you have to drop the whole family load of 125 or more to be able to take the family to the cinema. What if you have two good movies that you really want to see, but you can only afford to see one because that's all your finances dictate? You may not get around to seeing that second choice in the theaters. Your finances may dictate that you cannot. And then, the backdrop of it being on streaming, within 3 weeks after you've made your decision, you now can watch it on your streaming service. So they've done it that way. I think the 1 week after another of these movies being released, I think that hurts it. But also, like I said, the streaming being the option to basically make a easier choice on one movie or another. So you could have two good movies. One of them is going to get dropped simply because of finances. So I think that's what we're going through right now. William Thomas Jason Blum says he was made. He was made fun of for trying to make Five Nights at Freddy's movie. Everyone said we would never get the movie done. If you look at Five Nights at Freddy, though, it is sort of a joke, and it is a miracle that he did get it done. But congrats to him. I think you like The Machine. Yeah, it's pretty comedy, but there's a lot of action in all three DJ. Yeah, you told me about this before. I think I might be putting it in my queue. When your big sister slaps you in the back of your head, being mean isn't something you take lightly. Are you talking about how you tortured their Barbie dolls? William Thomas Harrison Ford and his final goodbye to Indiana Jones. Thanks for putting up with me. I hope you had a good time. I sure have. That's cool. That's simplistic as he's always been. It's the end of an era. It's the last time you see Indiana Jones with him. Yeah, it's going to be weird. It's just seeing the Red Hulk in general is going to be weird. It's a relatively new character, by the way, and they already got it up on the big screen. I don't know. I feel like WJ is going to be left out on an island on their own because otherwise, why not strike? I mean, nothing can really go forward without them anyway. I mean, you'd have more leverage if SAG-AFTRA struck, with them, but at the same time, you have a lot of things that just can't go forward regardless. Adding SAG to it and adding the directors had they struck with them would have given everybody interdependency and would have given each other more leverage to end this a lot sooner. Now it's just, the Writers Guild fighting on their own. I think this could be a lengthy one. It's already been lengthy. One movie I'm looking forward to that isn't DC or Marvel is Oppenheimer. I got, for me, the one movie that I'm looking forward to that's not DC or Marvel is Rebel Moon and Dune. And you could probably throw Mission Impossible in there too, but Rebel Moon and Dune is a biggie for me this year. William, I enjoy Secret Invasion. So do I. I don't know. I mean, I hear people knocking Secret Invasion. I'm enjoying the hell out of it so far. I like that quote Nick Fury gave to Rhodey. I'm Nick Fury. Even when I'm out, I'm in. Yeah, I don't. How much? I think it's going to be too. I think it's going to be up for Oscar consideration because it's that kind of movie. James reveals that Ray and James Mangold Star Wars are connected. Not really up on that. I heard some stuff about her today, but I didn't really pay attention. I pretty much tuned out to Star Wars until some of the stuff that I like starts coming out. But all these other things, Rebels and Ahsoka and all that, those are things I just can't connect with. So I'm kind of like taking a backseat. All right, people. Sean Penn says, or Sean Penn. Simon Pegg says people are always like, I don't need Shaun of the Dead 2 in my life. And I'm like, no, you don't fucking need Shaun of the Dead 2. Yeah, it's good. It's in demand. Yeah, that means he's making one. What does everybody think in the chat? I think, I don't know what the baseline is for Oppenheimer. I don't think it has to be a huge financial success. I think it just needs to make it to award season. It's got to have a lot of competition this year. You're going to have Denis Villeneuve for Dune. You could have a couple of different ones, but right now I would have to say Chris Nolan and Oppenheimer would be at the top of the conversation, even if it doesn't make a lot of money. Just a heads up, Jacob. It held your second to last chat probably because of all the S in it. Once you punch of Doom Part 2, Realm Moon is going to make the holiday season more bearable. Yes, it will. Yeah, we were talking about that site. We were basically caught in a gravitational pull of those two movies. I didn't think he was going to be there. I mean, I'm going to Comic Con this year, so I'm kind of happy that most of these guys aren't there. Because let's be honest, unless you sleep out there and pretty much, eat up a lot of your time, sleeping outside of Hall H, you're not going to get within 20 feet of these people for the most part. And you know what? As close as I would get to these people, I may as well just watch what they have to say on YouTube without being jammed in there with 6,000 other sweaty people. So yeah, I go to Comic Con for things other than Hall H. I would have liked them to move to a bigger place where Hall H isn't so disruptive. Also, Phillips and Hamada didn't get Joker at all. Oh yeah, Phillips and Hamada didn't get the Joker at all. Some execs were worried because of how they affected merchandise pajamas. Oh yeah, remember they sold the distribution rights to another company, so Warner Brothers ended up cutting half of their money in half. So every time anybody brings up, "Oh, Joker was a success," not because of that current management or the management that released it. It was in spite of the management that released it. Okay. William, why do you think people care so much about box office? Well, because it's the industry has used it as credibility that their movie is good. The industry for so long used critics, scores, and box office. That's the determining factor. How big that. If you say we got the number one movie in the world this week, that gives people credibility to hey, that everybody's going to see that movie. I need to go see it too. Um, I don't think. I think that the average fan, to be honest with you, should care less and less about those two factors because none of those two factors um, means anything to you of whether you're going to enjoy the movie. I've seen great movies that have bombed, and I've seen good movies. I've seen really bad movies that have made a lot of money. What are your thoughts on the fact that you didn't want to spoil anything regarding killing Robin back in the Full Circle event? There is um, back when he wrote that, he was envisioning he was going to finish the story, right? So it was, I think he was referring to while the movie was being made and while it was still out in theaters. Because I mean, spoiling it now doesn't mean anything. Do you think the studios will take the time during the strike to use AI to write scripts and see how AI? No, because that would be a nuclear option, and you'd probably get sued, and then you would your relationship with the writers would be irreparable. You don't want that. William Donald Orsinger says the Terminator has become reality to the AI. It's not any more fantasy. It's kind of futuristic. Yeah, there are some extremes though. There are a lot of things that we can put in place, to prevent AI from turning into something we don't want or need it to be. There's countermeasures you can do. There's designs you can put in. There's laws you can make. I mean, Terminator is an extreme fanatical fantasy end. There's a long way in between reality and Terminator, even if it's a logical path. The Meg 2 would be box office gold. I can't wait to see this Turbo movie. I think they made that movie for like $8. And so I think the first Meg was super successful, so I think this one will be too. Does the new event in DC Comics Night Terrors have any weight in your opinion? I'm taking a wait and see. There's been so many events in DC that I'm just taking a wait and see attitude to see how they sell and see which one does the best. But yeah, the DC is. I mean, they just keep creating these big events, and you just have to wait and see how they're going to turn out. They don't all turn out great. Flashpoint, New 52 are perfect examples. checking my email real quick. Okay. Yeah, you probably can burn them from part 3 too. Usually, when you work with people you like, you try to keep them around for as long as you can. It eliminates X factors. The face of nukes use floppy disk, and we're not connected to the internet. Makes AI neutered when it comes to weapons. The fact, the fact that nukes use floppy disk and are not connected to the internet makes AI. Yeah, it's not. You're connected via telephone, but not the devices themselves. So yeah, he's right there. All right, guys, this is gonna be a pretty short stream. I just want to get in here and say hi. It's really weird. I don't know. I think I'm gonna depending on what Enoch does. I think I'm gonna move my wrestling show, Wrestle Sunday, that I'm about to launch. I think I'm gonna put that on Friday or Sundays because a lot of the stuff we've already talked about. We've already talked about it like in length. Well, yeah, because of the way they butchered that movie, she wouldn't know until she saw it on the screen. All right, guys, this was a short one, more like a midnight express than an overnighter. And my sinuses are starting to kick in on top of that 200-degree day we had today. So I don't know if I'm going to be on the air tomorrow. I got a lot going on this week, and we got I got to launch my Mission Impossible promotion, and we got 4th of July. So I will try to make it on here tomorrow night. Depends on how tired I am and how much of a toll the heat takes on me. Ugh, hate this time of year. All right, guys. Thank you for being here, and I will see you next time.